Jubei-chan 2, the Counterattack of Siberia Yagyu, shows us that when Yagyuu Jubei, the original one, was wiping out the rival Yagyuu clan, he ended up creating a secret family in Siberia and had a daughter named Frisia, who ended up, during a battle with, the leader of the enemy, getting encased in ice and frozen for 300 years. This is used as an explanation for why she shows up 300 years later, which I don't know why they bothered with that, because they don't explain why anyone else is 300 years, I think, at any other point in the entire show. But there you go. She gets frozen 300 years, wakes up, finds out that the main character has become the successor to the original Yagyuu Jubei, and she creates her own eye patch, a spade-shaped eye patch, that ends up getting, blessed with divine powers that she, asks from her dad for, that allows her to create a transformation similar to the main characters. And so she is going to take on Jubei-chan, our main character. She's taking her on to try and take the lovely eye patch. Now, the lovely eye patch apparently disappeared after the end of season 1, but it turns out that there's this little kid who's actually the child of the original samurai servant from season 1, who is trying to give the lovely eye patch back to Jubei-chan, and then we have to go through an entire arc of Jubei absolutely refusing to accept the lovely eye patch again, but also Frisia shows up and inserts herself into Jubei's life and ends up living with her and her dad, who Jubei is trying to get her dad to become a non-ghost writer. Oh, and then, all of the side characters, including Shiro, who was, a big deal in season 1, do fucking nothing the entire season. The big arc of this story for all of the characters is trying to find out what motivates them and what are their future goals in life. Very few characters have solidified goals throughout the course of the series, and so this is really a sort of coming-of-age story, not just for our main characters who are in, middle and high school, but for even Jubei's dad and the other rival swordsmanship groups and ninjas and stuff. Everyone is sort of coming into their own in this season, and I will say that some of the fight scenes in this are actually pretty good. This season is probably an overall improvement over season 1, although it does do this one plot line where they do that classic mind break plot line where the one character's like, oh my god, I don't know who that person is, and then, of course they know who that person is. It does one of those classic mind break plot lines. I'm not super thrilled about that. I'm not super thrilled that the whole gimmick of Jubei-chan is she's still refusing the call. I will say, minor spoiler here, finally, she accepts the fucking lovely eye patch, she pops off, and we get to see her really take on the mantle of Yagyuu Jubei. One thing I will say, throughout the course of the show, and throughout the course of the previous show, is that periodically, throughout these shows, we're gradually seeing the improvements of Jubei-chan, even without the powers of the lovely eye patch. And I suspect if there was a season 3, we would gradually keep seeing this improvement to the point where I wouldn't be shocked if in a season 3, Jubei didn't actually even need the lovely eye patch anymore to access her full Yagyuu Jubei powers. Although, it did take a lot larger of a toll on her in this season, because she was so fervently rejecting it, which her rejection of the lovely eye patch was sort of a detraction point from season 1 because it went on for too long, and continuing this on for an additional, several, 10 episodes means we've had a solid, 22 episodes of this girl not taking this fucking eye patch and not just popping off and ending the threats immediately. To the point where she even, throws fights occasionally in this season, specifically because she is so fervently against using the powers of the eye patch. So, yeah, the main character still sort of gets on my nerves in this series, but I do think the interactions with her and her dad and the conflicts with Frisia and that fucking ending fight scene, I think it all popped off well, and I think the whole season overall was an improvement over season 1 and was just honestly all around good, just a good show. Twitch and Discord in the description. I've been Sacrobolic, your Envoy of Hope. Bye-bye!